Hi, it's Darin Butcher here from Darin's Desk, August 2022, and an interesting season coming up. Interest rates, we're going to be talking about what's happening in the rental market and also what's happening out in the local community. So join us here today. I'm Darin Butcher from Wiseberry Heritage Real Estate. Look forward to it.
G'day, Darin.
Hey, Matt. How are ya?
I'm fantastic. Thank you for joining me again.
It's an absolute pleasure.
So we've had a few big changes in our country with interest rate rises and a bit of a changing property market.
Yep.
Can you tell us how these things will affect the real estate market on the Central Coast?
Yeah, for sure, Matt. Well, let's start with a little bit of a history of it all. Interest rate rises, we've had a couple of them now. It was an all-time low and it's just started to creep, and it looks like it's going to creep until December, so they say, if not even after that. Inflation's certainly gone up, which means that they've got to bring the real estate market into control, which means that the prices were rising and rising and rising. And so they've gone for some drastic measures of putting bigger interest rate rises consistently, and that will certainly slow the market. It'll certainly slow down the spending out in the marketplace because people have to pay bigger interest rates, so they've got to get the money from somewhere. Mm-hmm. And so that'll start to bring things back. And you'll probably see, as you've seen already, a bit of a property price change.
Yep.
You know, the markets, we've seen around about a 15% market change as it stands. And, there is talk of a lot more as these interest rate rises kick through. Mm-hmm. If you watch the day-to-day of real estate, it'd fluctuate like the stock market, but we don't do that.
Yep.
So, the truth is, if you look at it now compared to where it was at, the start of the year, you've lost about 15%.
Right.
Should you look at it over a 12-month period, it went up by 25 to 35, depending on which area you were. So we're still ahead of the curve, that's for sure. But you will see that will drop even further.
Yep. So what do all these changes mean for the immediate future of our real estate market?
Yeah, well, it's interesting. It just means that things will slow down a little bit. Instead of it being, you get into a taxi or an Uber and they tell you to buy real estate, or you go in the hairdressers, they tell you to buy real estate.
Yep.
Now people will be warning you about buying real estate.
Right.
Although it's not a bad time to be buying because you're getting a discount. And as my wife tells me every time she goes in the shops, discounts aren't a bad thing. It shows that you're getting it below the cost. So, yeah.
Awesome. So what are some of the changes we're seeing in the rental market?
Okay, so at the moment we've seen a real trend change where 4-bedroom, 5-bedroom homes, luxury homes were really, really sought after. Amazingly, people were flush with money and they decided they were going to live in a bit better crib, so to speak. Mm-hmm. And so they looked around and went, okay, well, I want the nicest home I can get for my money, which actually drove prices of 4-bedrooms and 5-bedroom homes up.
Yep.
But what we've seen now is, as it's starting to tighten, it's only just started, but we've started to see a trend of it, that people are starting to ask a lot more for 2 to 3-bedroom homes where they weren't before. So they're going, well, if I'm going to cut something, I really don't want to cut down my spending habits. I don't want to cut down going out to dinner. I don't want to cut down, the different things that we like in life, the movies and all the other things.
Yep.
Petrol's gone up a little bit. So the part I'm going to actually cut down is my week-to-week spend on rental.
Right.
So when they've come back for a renewal or after their 12-month lease, they come back and they, instead of looking for another 4 to 5 bedder, they're looking back for a 3 or 2 bedroom to accommodate their needs and pull their head or their budget in a little bit.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So I know that the Wiseberry team will be holding their Tenant of the Year awards coming up very soon. Could you give us a rundown on what the Tenant of the Year actually is and why it started and all that? Yeah,
for sure. Look, it was interesting. Going back many years ago, I used to think that like a typical landlord that was out there that, the tenants have got to owe us a right or whatever the case may be, because, we've got this beautiful home for them and they've got to be happy with it. But what we found was that happy tenants made happy property managers, and happy property managers made very good job for their landlord. And so it's the carrot or the stick, which one comes first.
Yep.
And a lot of people put preference on the landlord, which we love our landlords, don't get us wrong.
Yep.
But we also had to look and go, okay, well, if we get good quality tenants, our landlords are going to be happy. Yeah. They're going to have a better quality home. So the object behind it was that we would pay for a month's free rent for the person who got our Tenant of the Year. Mm-hmm. We'd pay if you made the finals, or whether it be the neatest gardens, or whether it be the best routines, or whatever the case may be. Yep. We would actually pay a week rent for the finalist, the winner of the final of that. And so it worked out that we were finding people that weren't being rewarded in a system that they were coming over, looking for a rental with us. We were getting better quality tenants. Our landlords were much, much happier.
Yep.
Their rents were on time. Their yards were being looked after. The internals were being looked after. It was just a win-win for everybody. So we found that the amount of time that we didn't have to spend chasing arrears, for argument's sake, was time that we could spend, rewarding. And that was saving money and gave us more time with our landlords doing the things that they wanted us to do. So it worked out to be perfect. And that system has evolved over the years. Mm-hmm. And, I don't know whether it's the 4th or the 5th edition that we're up to, but we've had a fair few and some really, really great winners. And it's just an exciting program. I mean, for me, if I was in renting a property, I'd rather be in a system where I got a potential of being rewarded than not at all.
Yeah.
So it's quite an exciting thing, and the team takes it very seriously. There's proper judging. There's mystery shop, like a mystery shopper type thing, situation happening. So we've got a way to be able to look at it and go, okay, how do we do the best we possibly can?
Yep.
I think one of the awards last year was gratitude, which meant a lot for me. How the people actually treated our staff when they actually come to routine, when they were dealing with them with to do with any maintenance issues or anything that are broken potentially or whatever the case would be, how they actually looked after or talked to our team.
Yeah.
And that was a really, really good one. And then what they did for the community was another one. So they're little things that don't normally get rewarded, but something that means a lot to us.
Yeah, that's awesome. So another program I've heard spoken about is the Advanced Rent Club.
Yep.
What's that about?
Yeah, okay. That's another interesting one because, Matt, what actually happens is that I sound like an infomercial there. Hey, Matt, and I'm glad you passed that over. No, look, the most Advanced Rent Club, Matt, is basically a club that actually you get in for free.
Yep.
You're 4 weeks in advance or a month in advance, and that puts you into the club. And you can win prizes like it could be movie tickets, could be petrol tickets, could be dinners out. It's an exciting club. The idea is that you get nothing for being in advance, but for us, and we don't, again, have to be chasing. We're not reactive, we're proactive.
Yeah.
Well, we were happy to reward those people that actually go and do that with some bonuses. And so it's becoming more and more popular, but there is a lot of rewards. We draw a winner every second week, and how could you go wrong if you're sitting out there again and you're getting nothing from your current property management or property management system or property manager, then why not come to us and have a crack at it?
Yeah. So I keep seeing the Wiseberry team out and about everywhere. Can you give us a bit of a rundown on what they've been doing, what they've been getting up to in the community? Yeah,
it's interesting because we put a challenge forward to our team and we said, look, we get a hell of a lot from the community that's out there. How much are we giving back? And it was something that Mum and Dad were really, really passionate about it. And it was something that they always said, you've got to be doing, not expecting to get something in return. And so we've got them out as committee members in the football clubs, the rugby union clubs. We've got them out, recently we just did a Legends Day for Camberwell Football Club, right, where we were very much involved. I had, I had 14 members on the fields. Mm-hmm. I had 7 people that were in serving and helping and organising and cooking and doing all that sort of stuff. We've got several of them sitting on that committee. It's amazing. And what they gave back was just a small token of what we get from the community.
Yeah.
We've got several of our staff running around. We've got a head of customer love, Rob Hilly, who does a fantastic job out there, as you know.
Yep.
And his job is to find things that we can ingrain ourselves into the community. So they've just been involved in a nursing home for dementia. And several of them are going out there and spending some time with dementia patients, just giving a little bit of time to them, which is something that you can never get back. There's a little old lady that's out there at the moment that's saving a seat for one of our ladies named Eve, where, every day she's hoping that she comes back to have another conversation with her.
Yeah.
Now, dementia aren't supposed to remember the short-term things, yet she saves a chair every day. It's pretty incredible stuff.
Shows a real impact.
Oh, it is. And look, and then, that sort of stuff successfully brings other rewards, which, we've just got in the finals for the Australian Small Business Award again for the New South Wales. It's just such an accolade to be able to not only be in those awards, but sometimes win those awards. And it's just a pat on the back for your team to say, good job, get ingrained in the community. Yep. I mean, I know that we've just done a competition for the front of our elite where year 11 and 12 students could actually do the design for the front of the elite. Someone's going to win a prize. Yeah. They're little things that you do, just little things, but they make such a huge difference to your community around you. And, I'm a great believer in fishes and loaves. I think if you give, then, sometimes you'll receive. And we can't be more grateful for what we receive from our community. And so hopefully that is reciprocated by our team and what they put back in it as well.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, it is.
So there's also been a few people that you wanted to give shout outs who've been successful who are associated with Wiseberry.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, not just associated with Wiseberry, but the community groups that we associate with.
Right. Okay.
And so there's a couple of real champions that have come out of Camberwell Soccer Club that I wanted to give a shout out to. First one, Emma Bates. She's over with the Raging Cajuns over in Arizona, and she's been with the with Texas on her holiday. She's supposed to be on holidays, and she's gone to go play with a team over there. So awesome. Just amazing for her soccer and her soccer career. Going back years ago, we did a podcast with Emma when she was younger. She told us her career path was she's going to finish school. Mm-hmm. She was going to advance from the Jets program that she was in. She was going to go and do some other things and then get herself over in college. She's done all of the above. Tick, 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 tick. Awesome. I think the Australian team's on the agenda that she wants to try to get a leg into in the future. And I've no doubt from what she's done, she's going to do it. She is an amazing, amazing person and done a great job. I know her parents just went over and after we'd sold their property, they went over and visited her over there and just so proud of her parents too, because it takes the whole family. She's got 2 great brothers. They're all behind her. It's just amazing what they do. So lovely to see. Yeah. Zoe Karapetes is another one. The Karapetes family is very, very popular and very known throughout our local area here. Great Greek connection and amazing people. Zoe just made the young Matildas, under 18 Matildas team. Just such a great achievement from a young girl. And she's worked hard. Nothing comes for free, Matt, in life, whether it be real estate, whether it be sport or whatever the case may be. But she really has worked hard and got herself to where she's at, taking the opportunities that she's been thrown. And the family have run around everywhere. They've got a couple of sports stars in that family. Yeah. So they've been running around everywhere, making it all happen and good on them. I actually, her father, incidentally, was a Greco wrestler in the Commonwealth Games going back many, many years ago. And I'm talking many years, but wow. There's some talent in that family, that's for sure. Certainly not the same lines as each other, but very, very good talent. So then we've got Jaden Jackson. Most people know him as Squid. Amazing young fella, had a car accident going back several years ago and, rehabilitated himself. Really worked hard mentally and physically to get himself back to the shape that he's in and in an amazing way. The other day I was speaking to him and he said to me, "Hey Butch, we're going, it looks like I'm going to get captain of one of the rollers teams." Wow. So it's rugby league in a wheelchair and if you've ever watched it, I watched the Olympics and it was brutal. Yeah. It was amazing to watch, but it was brutal. Yeah. And so I'm so proud of him and, he's an amazing young fella and up top, he's just the most clever young fella. And you always knew he had something special in him, but just taking that extra step up is amazing and so proud of him. Yep. And most people would have rolled up in a ball and said, "Oh, it's happened to me, poor me," but not him. Yeah. He goes, "I'm going to make this happen," So very, very proud of him and where he's done and what he's achieved. So
that's awesome.
And then Pam Dennis is another one. Amazing achievement, Pam. She's just kicked goal after goal after goal. And she just got New South Wales light featherweight champion. Wow. A boxer. She's no spring chicken, as she says to about herself. But she is young for anyone that's watching, a lot younger than me. But an amazing person and determined. And what blows me away, and people not everyone knows this, but she's also a dancer, a physical culture dancer as well. We've got 2 worlds. Here she is a dancer, here she is a boxer. You just cannot believe those 2 worlds collide. But it just shows, and she's ingrained in the community. She's so good for the community. A fair few people, including us, got behind her as a sponsor, so she could go and do her stuff. But straight after she finishes, she rings and says, "Darin, when do you want to be in a photo shoot so you can get maximum exposure out of it?" And I went, we can catch up, but it's not for that for me. Yeah. It was just amazing seeing her achieve her goals, and I love seeing people achieve stuff. It just, whether it be one of my real estate team, whether it be someone in the public, it doesn't matter. It's just, we've got go-getters in our area and we should be really, really proud of them. And instead of, the tall poppy syndrome where we try to belt them down once we get them up there, let's leave them up there. Yeah. We need role models for these young kids coming through, and these people that I'm mentioning are just amazing for the young kids coming through. So
absolutely.
Perfect.
Yeah, absolutely. So have you got any final advice for buyers or sellers or renters or people out there who are trying to navigate these changes that are happening in the market?
Look, it's very tough, Matt, and we all know it. We've seen it. Real estate has fallen off. The turnovers fallen off quite dramatically, and we see the changes. We see people are struggling from a rental point of view. There's some people that actually can't get rentals because they've had bad histories in the past. And make sure one thing, you keep yourself squeaky clean from a rental perspective, because you never know when you're going to need it, even if you're going to go out and buy a property. But what I will say is this. that there is, if you're capable of buying, then go and buy, because real estate's a long-term game. It's a 10, 20, 30-year picture, and that's what we've got to be looking out for. So I'd be encouraging people to stay on that journey for that long period of time.
Yep.
There is a saying, buy and never sell. And if you are able to do that, then that's brilliant. Not everyone can, but if you can, then do it. From a seller's perspective, well, the market is falling. So if you're thinking the short term and you have to sell, then I'd be doing it sooner rather than later. If you don't have to do it at all, don't do it. And from a buyer's perspective, why would you buy now when you know the market might fall a little bit less? Well, you know the interest rates are going to go up. You know they're going to go up quite sharply. You might not be able to borrow, even though it's a cheaper price. You may not be able to use that money to borrow at that stage. So if you've got the ability to do it now, do it now.
Yeah.
And if that opportunity creates that you can buy an investment later on when the market's down a little bit further, then do that too.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, as the market rises, and luckily, you're only 29, turning 30, Matt, you've still got another 3-4 rises in you, at least, then why not buy a property, sit on it, let that market do the work for you. Don't look for the quick fix. Don't look for the easy money. If you want to do that, go and do some garage sale trading, go and buy NFTs, go and buy Bitcoin or whatever you can do, the quick buck. But if you want to have long-term future growth and really, really strong growth, then hold your property over a long period of time. And so the best advice I can give you is if you don't have to sell, then don't. But if you do, then the Wiseberry Heritage team is the one to come and see. We've done it over a long period of time. We know the ups and downs. We know what to do. And we've been market leaders for 25 years in the local area. And what we do is we give back as well. And be careful. There's a little warning I give to people about days on market out there. A lot of agents are actually saying, I'm 4 days on the market, I'm 8 days on the market. You're seeing the marketplace. Are they really going that quick? So what they're doing is backdating agency agreements and backdating time. And look, for me, that's lying from the start. Don't want a lie to be working for you, so be aware of it. But, we've been traditionally able to sell properties as quick, if not quicker, than everyone else that's out there in the marketplace. And we've been able to get fantastic prices. We've got a large team, which is great for you if you're looking to sell, because you can get more broader buyer scope through the property. Times have changed. You can't just pick just anyone now to actually sell your property. You've got to get the best.
Absolutely.
Otherwise, you will see the property drop in price as you're on the market, and that's the last thing you want to see.
Yeah, absolutely. Awesome. Well, thank you very much for joining me again.
It's a pleasure.
Yeah, until next month,
Well, happy birthday for the end of this month.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Darin Butcher, signing out.
Thanks, Darin.